The new era of smart rings has just begun, and here's the short answer. The Dreame AI Ring is surprisingly good for a first attempt, but it's not yet a must-buy for everyone. It's a feature-packed wellness ring with unique ideas, but still needs refinement in accuracy and software to truly compete with leaders like Oura Ring 4. Now let's inspect.
Dreame started as a vacuum cleaner company, then expanded aggressively into smart home. There are some rumors about forthcoming action cameras, and now this has been announced at CES earlier this year. Originally introduced as the Dreame AI Haptic Ring. And that haptic part is important because unlike most other rings, this one vibrates, also has touch-sensitive area, and combines that with full health tracking. Sounds ambitious. The question is, how well does it actually work in real life? And that's why we thoroughly inspect. Let's start with the core, the health tracking. The heart rate measuring performance is decent, but not exceptional. In my testing, the data looked a bit too flat for my taste, which usually means it's smoothing values and capturing real fluctuations.
That said, overall average are reasonably close to what you'd expect from something like the Oura Ring 4 or Ring-Con Generation 2, which is a good sign. So, usable, but not something I'd fully trust for a detailed analysis yet. Stress tracking is based on HRV, and here Dreame adds an interesting twist. The ring prompts you to provide feedback about your mood, essentially trying to train its algorithm. By default, it checks every 30 minutes. It's a nice idea, but realistically, most people won't consistently give feedback, which limits how useful this becomes over time. Temperature tracking is another area where Dreame took a different approach. Instead of just showing deviations from your baseline, which is what bands like Oura do, they try to present adjusted values closer to what you'd expect as body temperature. The problem is, finger temperature is naturally lower, so this requires heavy algorithm correction. Personally, I still think baseline deviation is a smarter method. However, the ring can notify you if it detects signs of fever. That's nice. Sleep tracking is okay-ish, not the best in class, tends to miss some awake periods, which actually is quite common for smart rings, but still worth noting. On the positive side, the app presents data very well, the graphs are detailed, easy to read, give you a lot of insight. This is one of the areas where Dreame shows strong potential because with better algorithms, this could become a really powerful sleep analysis tool.
When it comes to workouts, this is where expectations need to be aligned. This is not a sports ring, it's more of a wellness ring. At the moment, supports only a very few workout types, and while the data is fairly detailed, accuracy is not something you should rely on heavily.
There's also no GPS support, not even via your phone, so no routes, no pace tracking, no splits. This immediately limits its usefulness for runners or cyclists. Think of it more like a compact alternative to a basic fitness tracker, something like an older Mi Band, rather than a replacement for a smartwatch or a sports watch. Dreame does allow you to manually correct some workout data, which again feeds into their train the algorithm philosophy. It's interesting, but it also means that you're doing part of the work. Design is one of the strongest points for this ring. Genuinely one of the most comfortable smart rings I've ever worn. Construction is very flat on the inside, there are no annoying bumps, and the all-metal build gives a premium feel. There's also a subtle marking indicating the touch-sensitive area, which is important because this is not just a passive wearable, it's interactive. And unlike some competitors, this one actually looks like a piece of jewelry, not just a gadget. The charging case is also very well thought out, supports multiple ring sizes through a magnetic mounting system, which is a clever solution, and overall the unboxing experience feels premium, something Dreame clearly paid attention to.
Now, here's where things get interesting and where Dreame really tries to differentiate itself. This is one of the very few smart rings with a vibration motor inside, so it can notify you about incoming calls, about notifications and so on. The vibration is subtle, not as strong as a smartwatch, but in most situations, especially with your hands being still, you're going to feel that. But there's a trade-off. Vibration consumes battery, so Dreame had to tune it conservatively, which means it's useful but not always reliable in more active scenarios. The second standout feature is this touch-sensitive area, which lets you control music playback, and that is nice, not essential in my opinion. What really is useful, at least in my kind of usage, was that it can act as a remote shutter for your smartphone's camera. Put your phone somewhere, go at a distance, tap the ring, and you can take a photo or a video. That feature you're probably going to use. However, there also is a downside. It's very easy to trigger this accidentally. I found myself disabling it most of the time because I tend to touch the ring unconsciously or consciously as a therapy, which leads to unwanted actions.
The battery life is rated up to 7 days, and in real-world use, that's realistic. Larger sizes get slightly better endurance. Combined with a charging case, this is a very practical setup, not class-leading, but solid, especially considering the extra features like vibration and touch. There's no display here. That's the whole point. Everything happens in the app, which is, at this stage, good, but not great. It certainly does the job. You get all the health data nicely visualized with detailed graphs and insights. There's support for Google Health Connect, which is a strong starting point for integrations, but it still feels like a first-generation product. I'd love to see more polished UI elements, a proper light theme, and more meaningful insights, not just raw data. Right now, it tells you what's happening, but not always what to do about it. That said, I'm testing all these before the mass global release, so there's a strong chance that the software will improve significantly, and given Dreame's resources, I actually expect it to. Before the conclusion, let's be clear about the downsides. First, availability. At the moment, it's still not widely available. The sleep apnea detection, which is something competitors are starting to include. Third is the battery life, which is good, not class-leading. And the accuracy. No auto-workout detection yet, and sleep tracking and heart rate will still need some refinement.
Should you buy it? Well, if you're looking for the most accurate health tracking ring, no. You're still better off with something like the Oura Ring or even the Ring Generation 2. But if you want something different, something that combines health tracking with actual interaction, with notifications, with controlling some features, this easily is the only meaningful option right now. I think for a first-generation product, Dreame did an impressive job. Battery life is competitive, health tracking is close to brands like Ring, and the touch and vibration features are unique in this category. The real question is not what it is today, but what it becomes maybe in a few months after I publish this video, because if Dreame continues to refine the software, improve the accuracy, this could quickly turn into a serious competitor in the smart ring space. So tell me what you think. Would you actually use touch controls in order to take pictures remotely, or it's just a gimmick? And thank you very much for watching my review. For any questions, remarks, or whatever you want to share, comments are down below. As usual, more information about the products and ways to support me through affiliate marketing, I'm going to post in the video description. And I guess I'm going to see you soon. Bye.